Hi, Roger Lewis again. In this video I'm going to explain all the systems which I've actually got here and the improvements that I'm suggesting could actually be made. Now here we got a nuclear power plant, coal power plant, but effectively could actually be the same for waste or biomass. You got an open cycle gas turbine system and a combined cycle gas turbine system. And you can see I've got the actual various components in line effectively. Steam turbine, both connected to a generator, and then you've got a gas turbine connected to a generator, and then a combined cycle gas turbine, which is effectively a combination of a gas turbine with a steam turbine. Most actually have the generator fixed in the middle, but it's not. You could actually have two separate generators. So effectively, like in a nuclear power heats up steam water to superheated steam, which goes into the steam turbine, which expands, and then it gets has to be condensed. And the most efficient way of doing that is in a cooling tower with a fine water mist being sprayed into it, which creates those huge vapor plumes which you actually see at power stations. Similar sort of thing for a coal power station. Gas turbine, air is compressed, fuel is inserted, the resulting explosion is basically like a jet engine, actually fires out the back and turns a turbine in the centre, which turns the actual electrical generator. The waste effectively just goes out the chimney and via emission systems, etc., goes to the atmosphere. Combined cycle gas turbine is effectively a combination of the two, as we discussed earlier. Effectively, you start with a gas turbine. Other than the waste is effectively heat, the actual water into superheated steam, which goes into the steam turbine and gets expanded out. Now, I don't know for what reason, but I tend to find that combined cycle gas turbines don't actually use this type of condensing system. They use more like an evaporation system, whereby the actual system requires up to around about 10 to 15% of the generated electricity to actually reduce the actual steam back to water to actually go back through the actual system. Now, I've actually sent off freedom of information requests to the various bodies, the Office of Nuclear Regulation and BEIS for these three, to do with the efficiencies of all these systems, particularly related to what actually happens after the steam turbine phase, whether there is any further studies being made or practical work done to actually improve the efficiency, other than just the actual efficiency of the steam turbine, gas turbines, etc. Now, now looking forward, coal is supposed to go in by 2025, so that we won't really discussing that any further. The open cycle gas turbine, if you were to use the best way of recovering energy from that is with a steam turbine, which is effectively what we've got with the combined cycle gas turbine anyway. So we're going to forget about that. Basically looking at the nuclear system and the combined cycle gas turbine system, what I'm actually proposing is, as opposed to condensing and evaporating the water afterwards, is actually the actual steam afterwards, is actually passing the steam into a series of recovery units. In this case I'm sort of suggesting Stirling engines, but other appliances could apply. And effectively, as the steam rises through the various stages, it's going to get to a point where the steam is eventually going to turn back to water. But in that respect, it's actually going to generate electricity as it goes. So in effect, you could actually have increasing the actual efficiency at first stage. The waste is 60% here. I've assumed 25% efficiency for a Stirling engine. Can be anywhere between 17 and 31%, I think it was. So 25% could be an additional 15% added onto the original system efficiency of 40%. So that makes 55% efficiency. And then the waste of each process gets times by the efficiency of that Stirling engine. So effectively you actually add in 15%, 11.25%, 8.44, 6.33 and 4.75. I got to the point I thought, well, the actual efficiencies are getting so low, I'm not certain whether the cost benefits exist, etc. So effectively you could actually get up to, after 5 phases of recovery, well, you got the steam turbine and 5 phases of recovery. You get up to around about 85.77% efficiency for this system with a nuclear system. If you do via combined cycle gas turbine system, in this case after like you got the gas turbine, then the first stage of recovery is the steam turbine, and then 5 stages of recovery via Stirling engines. In this case you actually get the efficiency, you see like additional 12.75975 and 4, where you get the increased in efficiency up to 87.9% efficiency. Now I'm suggesting here perhaps you could actually use, instead of actually having the water go back into the system, you could actually have the water, which is still fairly hot, go into an electrolysis system, whereby you can actually use the electricity to actually produce hydrogen for cars, trains, etc. And the water would actually go back to the atmosphere, pretty much effectively like it goes via the cooling towers there. Or another option would actually be to put the hydrogen into storage and then develop electricity when environmental options are temporarily unable to deliver. So there's various different options. What I'm actually trying to get at, and what I'm trying to say, is that sticking at that point to me seems nonsensical. There's the fact that you've actually, in this case, you've actually got you've recovered energy via a steam turbine means that you can surely recover more via more processes. Admittedly, there is going to be some cost elements involved, but I'm sure there's a case to actually be made for getting 88% efficiency or 85.7% efficiency. Anyway, I'll come back to the main questions afterwards. Thank you.